So this is a video that I actually already made a couple of months ago, but then somehow I deleted half of the footage. So I just scrapped the whole entire thing. But it was kind of a good thing because another YouTuber named Janell Kristina, she reached out to me on Instagram, and she does mainly minimalism, simple living, intentional living, whatever you want to call it, and travel videos. And she's got some really, really helpful videos and insightful, informative stuff out there for even people that just want to live in a more minimal way. I was really happy that she reached out to me and wanted to do a remote collaboration, which is something I've never done before. So I've traveled quite a bit all over Southeast Asia and a lot in Japan, obviously, a little bit of stuff in Europe and Australia, that kind of thing. Nearly every single time that I go travel, unless someone pays for me, I travel with just carry-on. So that's just with a little carry-on suitcase and then a backpack, obviously. So whether it's a short trip or a long trip, summer or winter, these are the things that I will do to maximize the space, to minimize, what am I talking about? So these are the things that I do to make sure that I am only carrying the things that I need so that it will always fit in a carry-on suitcase. So the first tip is one that you're probably going to notice from my videos from here on out, and that is that I usually always wear dark or plain colored clothes. If you're wearing like a bright red t-shirt all the time, everyone's going to notice that you've got the same t-shirt on in all of your pictures. Or if you're just wearing dark colors all the time, most of the time no one's going to notice that you're wearing the same thing a couple of days in a row. Really, most of the time, unless you're really sweating through all of your clothing, you don't need to change your clothes every single day. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you do, a lot of travelers like to just wash their clothes in the shower. I have got this. It's called Alouette by Calibre 8 Delicate Swatch. So this is for delicates, but you can get them just for regular washing. And it's a mobile washing machine. You just chuck your clothes into here, a bit of detergent, a bit of water, and then you roll this up like this, and then you clip it like that, and then you just do this like little like washing motion. And it's basically exactly the same as washing your clothes. But yeah, just to make sure that everyone on Instagram and Facebook isn't saying like, Hannah, why are you wearing the same clothes every single day? I just wear dark colors and that works great. And onto the more technical things. So I am a travel vlogger, obviously, hence you're watching this on my channel. So I have to carry a lot of things with me, camera gear and bags and chargers and things like that. That stuff can be really heavy and it can take up a lot of space in your suitcase. If I'm going for a short trip and I'm not taking all that much gear with me, I don't need my GoPro and that kind of thing, I'll usually always just carry my Sony a7 III, yeah, that's what it's called, and my drone. And when I bring my drone, obviously, I need to bring my charger. The great thing about this charger that also has a USB port. Actually, the Mavic Air has 2 USB ports, and I do not know why the Mavic Pro 2 only has 1 USB port. That makes me really sad. This is very, very, very handy. So it means when I'm charging my drone battery, or if I'm not charging it at all, if everything's already charged, I can just use this as a USB port so I can plug things in. I'll usually, when I get back from my travels, plug it straight into the wall and start plugging the first thing straight away, so that by the course of the afternoon or evening, when I'm ready to go to bed, I will have already successfully charged everything before I head to bed. However, if you do wish to charge more than just one thing at a time, I can recommend. I got this in Singapore just from an electronics fair, but it's called Max Plug. I don't know, I'm not sponsored by it, obviously. So this is just a multiple USB charging port. It's got 4 spots here. This end here can be interchanged. It came with 3 different ones, but it is, it's kind of bulky-ish. It's got a bit of weight to it. So if I can avoid bringing this with me, I just won't bring it at all. If you're gonna be bringing your laptop with you, you can just use your laptop to plug it in. But I think if you're not really gonna be out for a really long time and you don't rely a whole lot on making sure that you're getting videos and content uploaded and that kind of thing, I would recommend to not bring a laptop. For me, if I'm going on a long trip, I'll definitely bring it with me so that I can put all of my footage onto my hard drive when I'm traveling. But if it's a shorter trip, brings me to my next point. And that is, instead of bringing a hard drive and things like that, just bring all of your extra SD cards. I know everyone's got more than just one SD card lying around, but if you've got a couple of extra SD cards, bring them all with you so that you can just keep all of your footage on them. And then that way you don't have to bring a computer and you don't have to bring a hard drive. These aren't really like mind-blowing you know, points to make, but they can be really helpful for some people that maybe hadn't thought about it. And my last technical kind of piece of advice is for the cables. So a lot of my devices, they'll use the same kind of cable to charge it. I always travel with this little handy bag. It's getting a bit manky now because I carry it everywhere with me. And that has always got my external battery in it, which is great for when you're on the go, when your GoPro runs out of battery, because it always does, because it doesn't have a very good battery life. And then I'll keep this little bag as well. It also has the only 3 cables I will need for everything. So it's got my lightning USB, is that what it's called? And then of course there is the handy dandy micro USB. I will use this for my camera, obviously. It also charges my external battery. And then of course I have this one here. This one actually charges my USB and also my Pocket Wi-Fi. It's that time of month again. And by that time of month, I mean time to promote the Wi-Fi, not that time of month. So if you watch my videos, you know the drill already. This is my Pocket Wi-Fi. It's by a company called iVideo. They do Pocket Wi-Fis for traveling all over the world. They've got so many different regions that it's in. But yes, this charger works with my Pocket Wi-Fi. So the last 2, when you're traveling with just carry-on, obviously you're not allowed to bring liquids with you. And if you're trying to save the environment a little bit more and you're trying to not buy bottles of things when you're overseas, you can just bring a bar of soap with you, a good old bar of soap. I don't know why we ever stopped using them because they're great. I use a bar of soap for my body washing every single day and my skin is fine. And I've also got a bar of shampoo, which is, I forget the name of the company, but you can get it on iHerb and I'll write it somewhere down here. Obviously not sponsored because I can't remember who they are, but I use this bar of shampoo as well. I don't use conditioner because I have very short hair, so I don't need it. By doing this, you can still bring the things, your toiletries, the things that you need when you're in the other country, but you can avoid having to buy all these little bottles of plastic and things that are just gonna end up in the waste anyway. So yeah, that's just a handy tip. And for the last tip on ways that I minimize the things that I'm carrying overseas, and that is with this handy dandy, amazing camera strap. So it looks nice and fancy, looks kind of just like a scarf or something like that. You've probably seen it in a couple of my videos before. It's called the Sakura Sling, I think it's called. Yoshi got it for me for Christmas last year, which is really nice of him, and it's amazing. So I would demonstrate this with my camera, but I'm filming with it right now, but let's just pretend that this is much bigger and more expensive. If I had a big case to wrap my camera in and like put it in and buckle it up and stuff like that, it really takes the joy out of me actually getting my camera out to film things. And I'm much more likely to have my camera ready to go if it's hanging around my neck and if I can just chuck it in my bag quickly. So it saves me time and effort and happiness because it's fast and it's easy. So the camera strap, it just looks like this normally, but I can also open it up like this. So you can kind of see there's like a hole here and a hole here. So normally I'll just put this thing right over the lens like that. It just kind of, well, I mean, obviously this is really small, so the camera fits right inside there, but I put it like that, and then you wrap it up, and then voila! You have your camera kind of in like its own little soft squishy case and everything, and then I can just chuck it straight into my bag. It just makes things so much easier. I don't have to worry about getting out an extra case from my bag, not to mention the space that would take up, and then no. So that's it for my tips, but now for a word from our collaborator. That's a weird sentence. But Janell Kristina, she has a whole bunch of other tips for us, so cut to you, Janell.
Hey guys, my name is Janell. I have a YouTube channel called Janell Kristina, and I'm going to share 2 tips with you guys for traveling carry-on only. My first tip is to consider travel insurance. I'm using it for the very first time for a trip I'm about to take to India. I'm going for 2 months, and over those 2 months I feel like there's a very high possibility that I might get food poisoning or something worse while I'm there. I bought insurance through World Nomads, and for an extra $80 for the entire 2 months, it covered up to $3,000 worth of damages or losses to any equipment that I had with me, including my laptop, camera, drone, and etc. And then my second tip is to make travel vlogging as easy as possible so it doesn't take away from the experience of you being someplace. I do this in a couple of ways. Usually for most trips, I only bring 1 lens with me that can work in most situations really good instead of trying to pack several lenses and worry about changing lenses during a trip. I also try to get multi-purpose accessories that work in a wide variety of situations. One thing that I really like and use is this variable ND filter. You just turn the cap and it changes the amount of light that you let into the camera. Also, try to minimize your accessories and see what works for a lot of things. I had this mini Manfrotto tripod. It works really awesome for my camera, and then with this little mount, I just added on here and I can use it with my GoPro and I don't have to have a separate GoPro tripod. And something new that I just got that I'm excited to use, and it was only a few dollars, was this GoPro mount that clips onto a backpack and it allows you to do like a travel montage completely hands-free. Those are my 2 tips. Guys, enjoy the rest of Hannah's video. Bye.
Yay! We made it! Made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff like this, travel vlogs around Japan and travel tips in general, please subscribe to my channel. Also, please go and check out Janell Kristina's channel. She's got some really, really excellent videos about minimalism and things that I'm trying to implement more into my life, especially these days because I'll be leaving Japan soon. And yeah, so I'll leave the link for Janell's channel down below. Also the link for all of the gear, everything that I use, everything that I carry with me while I'm traveling. The link for that is also in the description below. So go and check all of that stuff out if you liked it. Go follow me on Instagram, and I have a Twitter as well, actually. I don't really post anything on Twitter. It's nothing exciting, but I just kind of felt like I needed to add something extra there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.